Hello, everybody. For our energy check today, we are going to be using my Witch's Familiar Runic Oracle. Before we get started, let me thank you for being here and for being one of my patrons. I so appreciate you. So, if you know something about runes, you know they are Nordic in their tradition. And so I say that to say I may mispronounce some of the names, but do not think I haven't tried to learn them and learn them correctly. But I just wanted to put that disclaimer out there just in case something comes off a little off. And this, instead of, I actually have runes. You've probably seen them on my tarot table before. I have two sets. One that is what I call my fire runes, and I had them specially made. They are red and yellow, or red and gold. And then the others that I call my ice runes, which were also specially made by the same creator on Etsy. And they are like blue and teal with clear, see-through. So I didn't use the runes for this today because I am still new to runes altogether. And since I do have familiarity with, shuffling and pulling and interpreting cards, I decided to use my Witch's Familiar Runic Oracle today instead. But over time, we will probably graduate to my actually casting some runes for you. All right, so let's see which runes you got, or which rune cards, I guess is how I should say it. Also, because this deck is called the Witch's Familiar Runic Oracle, there are also animals on the cards. We are going to focus our interpretation today solely on the rune meanings, the rune properties. Okay, I don't want to try to do that and also factor in the meanings behind each of the animals at the same time because, well, I'm a little nervous, which which is why I'm talking so much. So why don't we go ahead and get started? Okay, so we have here Inguaz. Now, I've heard this rune pronounced two different ways. I think the first, I heard Inguaz first, and I've heard it the most often, and that's why it's in my ear that way. But I've also heard it pronounced as Inguz. Inguz. Okay, and as you can see, we have this very proud lion hanging out. So that's your first card that you got in your first rune, Inguz. I like Inguz better than Inguaz, I think. And maybe it's because I've heard fewer people say Inguz. And I like the idea, well, which you're going to see in a second. Yeah, I just like how it feels more magical because it doesn't look like it sounds. Ingwaz, that sounds, I don't know, it feels like, it's like, yeah, if I read that and I knew nothing about anything Nordic or runic, I would just look at that and say Ingwaz. It doesn't feel very magical, but Inguz, that feels magical. I don't know, maybe I'm being fantastical. Okay, and then the second card you guys got is Raido. It's pronounced Raido. And a humpback whale is the animal that's on the sky. And then the third card that you got is Vunyo. Vunyo. And that's a hummingbird. Hummingbirds are such happy creatures, right? They're like, I know I said I wasn't going to interpret based on the animals right now, but I do feel something here. So we're going to go with it, okay? I feel the pride of this lion. I feel the pride of this lion. And it feels like, especially with given what Inguz means, it's the pride of having come through something. And that is an energy that you will probably feel a lot this week. There is inner growth. There is transformation. And there's a call to restore your energy from the inner growth and transformation that you've already done. And this is going to help you to move forward from all of this inner work. Those of you who come to my readings, I feel like you do a lot of inner work because we have that theme come up a lot, right? But the inner work that you have done, the healing that you have done is bringing you to a place of wholeness. And you're really going to feel that sense of transformation probably later in the week after having spent some time restoring your energy, resting some, from recuperating from what I'm getting is a lot of not just mental energy, but actually somehow, some way it's been physical for you as well to go through this evolving that you're doing, this evolution that you've been doing. You know, you might have had some sleepless nights that came along with it. You might have had very taxing conversations with people, stress that has kept you from eating well. But now is the time that you are going to rebuild yourself internally as well as physically. And you're going to come out on the other side with a feeling of pride for who you are today, or at the time at the end of your transformation. So let's say by Saturday, by the end of this week, you're going to have pride over who you have become through this transformation, but you're also going to feel a lot of pride over having gone through the transformation. Most people don't. I don't know if you know that. I don't know if people who come to these kinds of readings or follow this kind of content really get that most people don't do the work. And you being committed to the work, following through with it, taking whatever steps to growth you take is something to be proud of. You don't have to make yourself perfect. You don't have to unmake yourself from who you used to be, but definitely, you know, transformative energy and resting from everything you've been through and coming out on the other side, being able to live in more harmony from a sense of pride. Another energy coming through with us having Raido here is, it's actually kind of more of the same, you know? So this is a nice confirmation because Raido represents journeying. It also represents confidence, things being in their natural order or following the natural rhythm of things, definitely being on the right path. I don't know much about the humpback whale, but I would imagine it too is majestic in its own habitat, the way the lion is majestic in the forest, the woods. Where do lions live? We're gonna go with forest. Yeah, I feel like forest is jungle, duh, king of the jungle. So just as the lion is, majestic, whether it's in or out of its own habitat, what I'm getting at here is this humpback whale, the humpback whale in general, might be considered majestic in the ocean. And whether it's considered majestic or not, it definitely is. Have you ever seen one in movement? And just the sheer size of it, But definitely a call here to continue to follow your inner compass. Trust the insights that you're having and the growth that you have felt. And again, a feeling of confidence and pride in yourself, knowing that things are coming together, things are going to be in order for you. You might start to see that solidify more during the middle of the week, even more so than at the top of the week. At the top of the week might be more of that restorative energy we talked about, that taking time out, going within, withdrawing to the self. And then midway through the week, really getting a sense of your own just magnanimity and greatness for undertaking the journey, going on the journey. And I want to say completing it, but I really can't, because we heal something or we grow in some way, and then now we're different, and then life gives us new ways to grow, right? Or we might discover more things that need healing. But one of the things that's definitely coming through is to say to you, let yourself own this majesty of yours, and let yourself own it no matter what environment you're in. You may have in your past, maybe even as recently as this week, felt comfortable standing in your power or your strength, or having pride or confidence in, say, your home life, but maybe not so much in your work environment, or vice versa. For me, for the longest time in my 20s, I was confident in the workplace, but man, was I insecure in my personal life, in love in particular. I cared way too much with what other people thought about me. And not just dudes in my love life, but, I would pop off a lot or get my feelings hurt and have to tell people off because, you ain't gonna cross me because of being so sensitive, because of caring so much what others thought. So you might be someone like that who has areas where you have felt confident and majestical, and then other areas where you don't. And what I'm getting to tell you is this is you. You are majestical in that way, or there is majesty to you. There should be pride and there should be confidence in you, regardless of where you are or who you are with. And one of the things that you're going to experience this week as a result of all of the inner work that you have done, the restoring yourself energetically, taking good care of yourself, returning to eating, well. You don't have to eat perfectly, but eating, 3 meals. Now, whether or not those are healthy meals are up to you, but not missing meals because of any anxiety or fear or worry. And getting good sleep again. I'm getting to tell you hydrate. I'm getting it specifically here with Raido and this humpback whale. Definitely take in your water. And because of all of this, coming through all of this, you will be in, like I said earlier, there's harmony and there's also going to be love and a feeling of prosperity. And you're going to have this feeling of prosperity because of knowing inside that you can come through stuff, that you are worthy of things, that you fit, that you're a part of the universe, that you're a part of the world, that you belong where you are, wherever you are. And this will really show itself in bringing, the greatness of you, being in your confidence in any environment. You will have a sense of belonging when you don't shut pieces of yourself out or aspects of your personality out. And in so doing too, you will reflect to the world who you truly are inside, and you'll find more like-minded people to connect with, which will just ultimately, of course, bring you more joy, more pleasure, connecting with kindreds, as they're called. And, quite possibly, particularly this work environment thing we were talking about, quite possibly increasing your prosperity. Because as you value you, others will see the value of you or value in you more. I'm getting to tell you in particular, know how valuable your gifts and your skills are. So yeah, this week is going to be a week of, coming through the tail end of that transformation and then really standing in your own power and almost immediately seeing some benefits around that, particularly when it comes to connectivity with other people, for sure. I'm also getting to tell you, if you have a cat, give them a great big hug for me. I just felt it. I felt it. I was a cat mom and I loved that cat so much, and it's almost like he just said, give the cat a hug. I don't know. I just felt to say that if you happen to have a cat, he wasn't a lion, but every time I see a lion, I do think of Casper. And just pet that cat and give him a great big old hug and say, this is from the lady on the internet. She loves you. Okay, you guys, thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you next week. Bye.